Well, I really fully agree with the Joy of Reading program and what it does for children. I feel like in my own childhood, reading was an incredibly big part of my childhood, and in terms of increasing my vocabulary and my sort of perception about things and stimulating my imagination and creativity. And I've watched that happen in my own daughter as well. And just finding out various kind of shocking facts that 80% of daycare and after-school facilities for low-income children have no age-appropriate books at all for the children that they're caring for. 61% of families at low-income bracket have no books in their house at all. To me that's completely unthinkable, and that's why the Nestle Share the Joy of Reading program is very important, because it's actually stepping in to bridge that gap. I read to my daughter when she was a baby. I mean, I read to her, the little books and the fuzzy touch books and all that stuff. And, obviously I had the advantage of the fact that she was a girl, and they will sit still long enough for you to read to them. I understand, I have friends who have 4 boys, and it's a bit more of a fight. But certainly, reading was absolutely the way that I was able to fly back to England and fly back and forth from England to LA, because we would go to a bookstore, buy a bunch of books, put them in a case. She'd be so excited that there were all these new books, and then I would read to her for the sort of 9 or 10 hours of the journey home. So it wasn't something I ever really needed to encourage. She just loved it. I think I was passionate about reading. It was very easy for me to make my daughter passionate about reading. I read like crazy. I was the kid who would go to a birthday party and find a book on their shelf and not join in the birthday party and get completely stuck in a book. And my mother was like that too. I think that when kids read when they're young, their vocabulary is usually much more rich and varied than children who don't read. I also think that as parents, it's very important that we fight the kind of sort of global ADD that there is, I think, from video games and computers and television and all of that stuff, that I think promotes a short attention span and a kind of passive entertainment, where they just sort of, they're not really a part of it. So I think anything that we can do that's an antidote to that, because that's massive and that's not going away. I think reading is a very good antidote to that stuff. I mean, I think initially, it's important to read to them. I think one of the things that's initially attractive to children about reading is when they have the parent's full attention. They're, very often touching the parent. They're close with the parent, and if you can read, if you as a parent can kind of read interestingly and do voices, it's extremely entertaining for children. They love that. I mean, I really do believe that developing a passion for reading is incredibly important to your intellect, your creativity, your sense of empathy with other people, and I think that Nestle is doing a wonderful job in that it's actually trying its best to involve people in providing that for children from low-income families. So, if you go out and you buy a big bag of Butterfingers or whatever, there's going to be a code on that bag where you're able to, to tap in that code on a website, and Nestle will automatically donate money to the program, and you can win a prize as well. But I just think it's very nice that it's making people active in bringing that to these families.
Good morning. I'm so excited to be part of Special Story Time to kick off National Reading Month, and I'm very honoured to be here supporting the Nestle Share the Joy of Reading program. Ready? I have this little sister Lola. She is small and very funny. Shh, Charlie, you must keep still, otherwise our spell will not work. Lola has this friend Lotta, made it into the hen house. He held his breath and pushed with all his might, but no matter how hard he tried, he could not lay a single egg, not one. And these are the coat hooks for hanging up your coat. Yes, and you will probably get one next to mine, says Lotta. The next day, Lola sees Lotta playing with Evie. Lotta says, "So how was Lotta today? Are you best friends again?" Exactly what I said. Lotta says, "Where's Evie gone?" "She's over there playing," says Lola. Whee! I wish I were a sailor and could travel everywhere. You want to be a sailor? You want to come sit here? Come on now. And you can see. The peacock showed up. The cows and the hens and the old hound kept right on doing what they'd always done. But that peacock had never lived on a farm. He had no idea what to do.